I'm David Grubb. This is MLBBro.com. Join me as we talk to Cole Wright, another brother broadcaster. All right, I'm here with Cubs broadcaster Cole Wright, and I'm really excited to talk to him, another brother broadcaster. You go deep with this game. You've been playing it since you were a kid. You played it in high school, college, and now you get to cover your hometown team, the team you grew up loving. What keeps you in love with the game so much?
I mean, it's like you said, I've been doing it since I was a child, man. And it just seems like it's ingrained in me. Like it's just what I do. And, I've been able to, thankfully pass it down to my daughter. She loves baseball. I mean, she grew up going to baseball games, watching baseball games, playing softball. She plays travel ball. And, I had Saturday or Sunday and Monday, rather, I had off. The Cubs played on Sunday Night Baseball. So they had a national show. All we had was a post game. So I had the day off and then a Monday day off. And on Sunday, I was at the ballpark watching my daughter play a triple header. And, someone at the office was like, "Oh, man, great. You got to go out to the ballpark after, on your day off." And I said, there's nothing I'd rather do than go out and watch my daughter play softball. And aside from that, there's the only other thing I'd rather do is go with my wife and my daughter to watch a live baseball game. So I feel like that's just kind of what our family does. And, I feel like if it weren't for baseball, I mean, who knows what I would be doing with my life? I mean, hopefully it'd be something solid, but I don't think I'd be where I'm at today if it weren't for the game of baseball.
What did you get from it that applied to the journalistic career that you chose?
Never give up. I mean, if there's one sport where you are still in it until that final out, until that last tick, until the bell rings, it's baseball. I mean, in what other sport can you start a 2-out rally and come back and win? I mean, like just the other day, I don't mean to sit here and just talk all about my daughter, but I mean, it makes me proud when I tell her these messages, and it makes a lot of sense. They were down the other day after they were up, and the other team had tied them up. They weren't down. I lied. They were tied up, and they had 2 outs. And my daughter bats leadoff. And I told her, I said, these are the moments that you want. I said, you want to be up there with the game on the line because that lets you know what you're made of. Win, lose, or draw. Sometimes you're going to fail, but I'm like, you want that maybe it's a burden or that responsibility on your shoulders. And with 2 outs, tie game, she knocked a run in, and then she ended up scoring, and they ended up winning by 1 run. And I told her when we got in the car, I said, you know how proud I am of you. I said, that was the last game. That was your last at bat. And I said, you took your last at bat as seriously as your first at bat in the first game. And she had 10 ABs all day long. And I told her, I said, the way you never quit and you never gave up, even when other kids on your team were maybe sagging their shoulders a little bit, you know what I told you? I said, you don't ever give up and you always believe that you can win that ball game. So that's one of the things that, I mean, I could have quit after college. I sent out resume tapes and I didn't hear anything. And I could have just, my mom runs a veterinary clinic, and I was thinking about going into pharmaceutical sales, and it sounded like a great job at the time. You started out making a whole bunch of money. You got a company car, and what you started out in sports media was nowhere near the same. But all I did was I tried to persevere, and I tried to keep sending out tapes, and I eventually went to the Unity conference in DC back in 2004, got a job. I was waiting tables. They called me, and they said, this job is yours if you want it. If you can get here within 10 days, it's yours. If not, I'm gonna give it to somebody else. Here's what it pays first year. This is what it pays second year. If you want it, I'll see you in 10 days. And I worked double shifts every day. And then I drove to Texas, and that was it, man. So, even then, I mean, my first boss, she would tell me that my stuff sounded stupid. She said specifically one day on a San Antonio Spurs Tim Duncan highlight, she said, my call on it sounded stupid. It might work one day in Lubbock or at Fox Sports or at ESPN one day, but people in San Angelo don't want to hear their sports like that. And surprisingly so, I ended up working at ESPN and at Fox Sports. So she was right and wrong all in the same breath. So, I always tell my little one, I said, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It's what you think and what you know. And as long as you think that you can get it done, go ahead and get it done.
MLBBro.com, covering black and brown major leaguers.